he has some very interesting observations, starting with what these Niners have in common with the 2019 Chiefs that beat them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I remember the Chiefs vaguely going and doing a comeback. I couldn't remember. I know everyone remembers the 10-point comeback in the Super Bowl, but if you kind of look at it, they were very similarly positioned to the 49ers, that they were the 1 seed. They were rolling over teams. I think they were 14-2 or 13-3 that year. Mm-hmm. And they played their first divisional game, and they played against Houston, and they went down 24 points. They had to make a 24-point comeback, which they did. Very similar to what the Niners just accomplished last weekend. So to me, I was like, okay. And then I looked at when they played the Titans the following week, midway through the third quarter, it was 17-7 Titans. So they had to come back from a 10-point deficit back then as well in the AFC Championship game at home to win that game. Now they won comfortably, and the final score, once they started getting
51,
rolling,
31, 35, 24, yeah.
Yes. But at one point, they had to make a comeback very similar like the Niners did, where they avalanched the Titans.
And they established that they could score quickly from behind if they needed to. Very quickly.
Very quickly.
Which the Niners did too.
Niners, it seems like when the Niners need a score this year, they're more often than not can do it. Right? The two exceptions are that last drive against the Vikings was one, and then the Bengals game where they just couldn't get much of anything going in the fourth quarter. But the Cleveland drive, when they needed it, they got it. The Packers, yes. And I say Cleveland because they got it. They just failed to execute. But they got down to a position to win that game by a field goal. They were able to do it in the divisional round and the NFC Championship. So to me, what does that tell you? That tells you that they believe that they can come back. They are not hamstrung to a certain script. And that bodes well for them because guess what? As good as Kansas City is, and I know everyone wants to say Kansas City's, and they've got Mahomes, and I get it. He's the closest thing to Jordan on, a football field that we have seen when it comes to that. But they've been shut out in the fourth quarter, in the second half, numerous times, including the AFC Championship. They didn't score again after the first two halves again. So to me, if the 49ers that can keep it close, they're very similarly positioned like the 2019 Chiefs, where they can come back and they can win. And it's going to be on the Chiefs to execute. And the Chiefs, unlike prior years, can only execute 2 or 3 ways. That's it. Much like the Niners with Jimmy and his reads. After he got off his read, that was it. The execution was done. Mahomes can go to Kelsey and he can go to Rice. After that, that's why they're not scoring a lot in the second half, because defenses are taking one or the other away.
Okay.
My optimism on my front, if I'm the 49ers, I play a 5-man front and I go man. I abandon what they're used to being comfortable, and I kind of go, hey, Wilkes, this is your bread and butter. Scheme this up.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Gregory Young, this game is all about Kyle and the coaching. We have the best team we probably will have. This will be about its coaching adjustments and play calls. Will Kyle and Wilkes come in with the right plan? Not only will they come in with the right plan, but will they be able to make adjustments before halftime?
Oh, yeah. You can't go down more than 10 points. You saw Baltimore. No.
Will they be able to make adjustments before halftime? All right.